Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan, an Olympian and beach volleyball world champion and a longtime professional indoor player.
And I'm Adam, former indoor player and coach, current beach volleyball coach, and most importantly, Sarah's husband.
Today we're watching season 2, episode 14 of Haikyu called Still Growing. The boys won their 2 matches at the qualifier prelims. They beat the team with the very tall boy.
Yeah.
Last episode. The simple and pure strength being his height.
Yep.
Adam doesn't have anything to say.
No, well, I guess I'm kind of expected them to win that relatively easily. I was curious how they deal with a tall player, but they handled it kind of without any issue.
Back to the drawing board, but we did see Kyoko have a little interaction at the end with some boys who wanted her number, and who had to come rescue her? Hinata.
So I guess what I was wondering was, where do we go from here? So is there time to train before the next round of qualifiers? Do they happen like the next weekend? I'm kind of unsure. Like, still growing makes me think that we're going to have a little bit of training. We're going to learn some lessons from the tournament.
Really fine-tune those skills, those new skills that we're developing.
So I don't really know. I don't have a feel for where we're going right now.
Well, let's find out. Let's just go right to it.
I'm in.
Okay. Season 2, episode 14 of Haikyu is coming right now.
Akiteru, いつまでいられるの
？14日から仕事だから、あさってには仙台戻るよ。
K の試合見に行かなくてよかったの？
昨日行こうかなって言ったらすげえ嫌な顔されたし。ああ、そうだ。母さん、K のメガネのさ。ただいま。おかえり。試合どうだった？
まあ勝ったけど。
おお、相手はどんな
？2メートル。
はい。
1年で201センチがいたよ。
200？勝ったのかよ。
まだバレー始めたばっかりみたいだったし。
マジかよ。
まあブロックは全然歯が立たなかったけどね。何？
お前負けて当然って思ってるだろ。
え？うん。だって2メートルだよ。
お前さ、うちのチームの練習混ざってみない
？What?
You're like, so many people have that attitude.
Like we should lose because they're just taller than us. Was that not what you took from that?
The Tsukishima younger one was saying our blocks were ineffective.
Yeah. And I thought his brother was like, oh, do you just assume that you couldn't win because he was taller? Like saying before the match. That's what that's how I read it. Maybe I read the wrong thing.
I don't know.
Okay.
よし、こっから自主練。10月末の代表決定戦まで2ヶ月切ったからな。それぞれのレベルを心がけろよ。
Sushi.
影山くん、どうしたの？
俺ってわかるのか？
もしかして変装のつもりだった？
What's happening?
代表決定戦で当たるかもしれない相手でどうしても見ておきたいチームがあって。
なるほど、ビデオとか撮るんですな。
いや、そういうのは基本公式戦だけっつうのが暗黙のルールだ。だから見たところでどうなるわけでもないけど、夏休み終わって代表決定戦まで2ヶ月切ったし、どうしても見ておかないといけない気がして。
どの学校でも放課後に一番目立たないためには普通の運動部っぽい格好が良いのでは？
は
I love that she's getting on board with the stealth mission.
Where do you think they are?
I don't know the name of the school, but the one with the big stuff. Set her soul.
そろそろ始めるよ。次はメンバー変えてくから。
なあ、月島だったら牛若止められるか。
無理でしょ。全国トップ3のエースなんてまぐれならまだしも。
でも誰かが牛若止めなきゃ白鳥座は倒せない。俺たちミドルブロッカーじゃん。
もう県トップのこと考えてんの。ずいぶん余裕だね。
どっちみち
I'm gonna
全部
ignore
倒
that
さなきゃい
comment.
けないんだから同じだ。
なんか腹立つ。
なんでだよ。月島で無理なら俺がやってやる。
自分で言うのはともかく他人に無理って言われると腹立つよね。君は特に。
絶望したな。月島この野郎。
帰る。
Is that even a thing?
He for sure knew and did it on purpose.
The Vulcan head pinch.
Did you see that? This is K heading over to Dick. Oh, he was on the phone.
Yeah, he's going to practice.
Kageyama 生還どうだったよ。
Of course they're scheming about it together.
俺は一生及川さんに勝てないかもしれない。
何言ってんだ。ふざけんな。何見たんだ。
正常は多分 OB のいる大学と練習試合やってた。
Smart.
俺が行った時には一区切りついてて、休憩中にメンバーを変えた違う試合が始まった。
及川です。よろしくお願いします。
大学生の中に及川さんがセッターとして一人で入った。初めて会った人も多いみたいだった。
あれが正常の首相だろ。なんかチャラいな。
でもほんの数プレーで及川さんは完全にチームに溶け込んだ。スパイカーが生き生きしてるのが俺にも分かった。誰からもどんな奴からも 100% を引き出すなんて、たとえ時間をかけたってできるとは限らない。でも及川さんはたとえあの人を嫌ってる奴とかすげえ癖のある選手とかでさえきっと自在に使いこなす。
及川はどこであろうとそのチームの最大値を引き出すセッターだ。
そのすげえ大王様に改めてビビっちゃったのかよ、影山くんは。
ああ、すげえビビった。
The honesty and vulnerability that Kageyama showed by admitting Oikawa's strengths and just how good he is and identifying why he's so good, and B, saying in front of everybody that he is freaked out and he can't go head to head with Oikawa right now, but they're gonna do it together as a team. This is Kageyama 2.0, okay?
I couldn't agree more. I'm so happy to see that. Like, it's so hard. I mean, there's a couple things, like you said, the self-awareness of like watching that and going, man, he can just step into any situation, you know, with college players, which is intimidating, and bring the best out of him. Like, to be able to see that happening and go, well, I can't do that. or I'm not able to do that. That, like, to admit that to yourself, especially given the history and the things that have gone on, that's huge. Not only to yourself, because I think that's the first step, but then to hop right to saying it in front of his teammates, that every team needs somebody who's willing to kind of be the first person to go, hey, I can't do this, or I'm unable to do this, and I need help, and like that. Having somebody on the team lead that way, I think, in my opinion, is so crucial to the team buying in and admitting their own faults to each other so that you can all work together. Like, it's one thing for them to work individually to get better, but to have that as a group, it's huge. It's huge.
And I also, as an aside, love Hinata when Tsukishima's like, oh, you're jumping to playing Shiro Torzao already? And he's like, well, we have to beat everybody to go to nationals, so, like, it's the same thing.
Yep.
You have to beat everybody. He's just, like, really prepared.
And you need a mix. Like, you need people who are realistic and, like, looking at the minutia of steps of how to get there. And then some people...
one day at a time.
Yeah, and then some people who are like, I don't... Like, the details are irrelevant. We're going here. And it's just... You're starting to see... Like, it was skills before... And now you're starting to see the personality slot into how to make a successful team.
100%.
Yeah. よっしゃー。やっぱ社会人パワーが違う。なんだキャラッチーだ。ちゃんと飯食ってんのか。もう帰っていいかな。まあまあ赤井沢さん見ててくださいよ。今にドシャッと決めてみせますから。うちの弟。こんな細っこい高校生に負ける俺じゃねえよ。煽るの大好きな人なんだ。許して。
なあ、月島だったら牛若止められるか。
お前負けて当然と思ってるだろう。それはさ、下手くそだからじゃない。
Oh, he's pissed now.
I know it was a quick turnover pause, but I just want to say, if you want to get better quickly, you need to practice and play against people who are just better than you. And yes, you will get beaten and it will not be fun, but like it's about more than that. And I used to do that as a kid all the time. I would go when I was in middle school. In high school, I would go ask my local university team if I could practice with them, and like luckily they said, like lucky for me, they said yes. And yeah, going and playing against girls and women who were over 10 years older than me, like I have no expectation to like beat them, but like you learn so much quicker doing that.
100%. That's why, like, as you coach kids, you have parents who are like, oh, I want them to stay and play with their age group so they can win. And it's just like...
What's the goal here?
Yeah, no, like, move them up. They gotta face better competition. Like, the better people you train with, you play against, the better you get, the faster. I totally agree with that.
Your learning curve is just much steeper.
高さでもパワーでも自分より圧倒的に上の相手のスパイクを止める方法はあるんですか?
He's probably, this is the first time I've ever heard you speak.
Oh, the evolution of Tsukishima.
I will say, as a coach, though, that's a great, like a great feeling.
まともに挨拶くらいしろよ。まあまあまあ、矢幅落ち着いて。
及川さん。
久しぶり。待ってたよ。おかえり、狂犬ちゃん。
No. Do you have any thoughts?
Where was Mad Dog? Did he get kicked out of school?
I don't know.
I feel like I missed something big here.
There's a new player on Seijo. That is the takeaway.
But was he on Kenma's team before?
No.
Why do I feel like I've seen him before?
He has the same general look as Yamamoto, but it's not him. It's Mad Dog.
Oh, okay.
It's literally the most basic explanation of all time. Seijo has a new player.
Got it. I thought I recognized him. I thought he was the same player as another school, so I didn't know. I was completely confused and caught off guard.
Okay. He did have a different name. We have not met anybody with the name Mad Dog yet.
Why? I feel like somebody has said something about Mad. There was just something familiar about that
you maybe read it in a comment or something.
Oh, maybe.
But like, okay, this has not gone any way that I expected it to go. But the confusion is 10 out of 10.
I was very confused. Wait, so real quick, is he a first year or a transfer?
Oh my gosh, Adam!
I need the details.
You're probably gonna find out.
Okay.
Oh, that's like you with a golf club and me.
Okay, it's a little extreme.
まだ3年いんのかよ。インターハイ予選で負けてもう引退したかと思ったの。
相変わらず狂犬ちゃんは面白い。
変な呼び方しないでほしいんですけど。
ああ、及川さんがいる代に同じチームでプレーできてよかったって思えるようにしてあげるね。
He's like a dog backed into a corner.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna clarify because it came to me while I was watching that.
Okay.
While I was doing my research on the players for the draft, I was looking up players from Seijo, and he was there. And remember, I asked you about him, and you were like, he doesn't come until the second season. So I had seen his picture, and that's where I recognized the name, so that's why I was confused.
Okay.
I was like, I'm going crazy, I can't. So, okay, so that's how it happened. But he seems like he's gonna have trouble fitting in, but I actually think with
volatile.
Yeah. But Oikawa was the best setter to manage him on the court, I think. Given everything you've seen and we know about him. So I don't think it's really going to be an issue. He's going to piss some people off, but you're going to have somebody there who can smooth it over.
Well, he already made everybody get their backs up.
Yeah.
In the first 2 minutes.
Yeah. It will be a constant dynamic that needs to be managed. So we'll see if he's up to the challenge.
…10月の代表決定戦までの間、関東へ練習試合に来られるのは今回も含め都合2回ほどです。貴重なチャンス、有意義に使いましょう。はいはい。はい、ツッキー。早速ブロック飛んでくれ。へいへいへい。チョース。僕と他校の1年に惹かれるの巻。はい、お願いします。自分で高くしてるんですか。高さでもパワーでも。
Adam had the same reaction.
そう読むとかも重要だけどな。ただ俺は口では言えるけどお手本になるほどうまくね。個人のセンスとかブロックの司令塔として身近で優れてるのはやっぱり猫間の苦労あたりかな。
タイミング、相手が打ち下ろしてくる瞬間、ブロックがてっぺんに差し掛かる。
There's no better feeling.
いつまでミルセンやってる？
すみません、お邪魔します。
He's a sweetheart.
Oh, he shocked everybody.
速攻の成功率はまだ7割ほどでしょうか。
Higher than it was.
反復練習しかねえな。
Ooh, between the wickets.
Oh, field goal.
万歳ブロックすんなっつうの。真ん中抜かれてんじゃねえか。腕はギリ、ボールが抜けない幅。
はいっす。
I think I made a comment on this the first time I watched it, and I was like, I actually don't agree with that statement.
With which part of it?
Kuro yelling, your hands shouldn't be apart when you're blocking, they need to be together. And here was my reasoning. Most hitters, when they're attacking, and if you've heard this from me before, I apologize. Feel free to fast forward. Most hitters, when they're hitting, they can see the body of the blockers, but not, you know, what's happening outside of the blocker's body. So when you're hitting, you tend to avoid where the body is. Okay? So that's why if you're blocking and you take space outside of your shoulders, you have a higher chance of actually getting the block, because in the process of avoiding where your body is, they're gonna hit it to where your hand is. So that is why I have an issue with Kuro's statement, and I know that he's the blocking king of this anime, but yeah, though I don't agree with that.
I'm thinking about what you just said, and I think I don't disagree with you, but I think there's context to it. So that ball was coming straight up the middle, right? And was he one-on-one, or was there a triple block there?
Who was he coaching?
I don't. I'd have to go back and see it. But you want to take the space off here, but to me, you start here, and if you see them coming through, then you can close them out the other way around. And then it depends if you're blocking with other people, whether you're going for the block or taking up space so your defenders can play around you. I totally agree with your logic. I just think there's some nuance there as well in different situations like that.
Well, I also don't agree with your statement, because if you're blocking one-on-one in the middle, it is more of a game, because yet again, the hitter only sees the blocker's body. So when you're middle, you're trained to take one side or another, and your defense knows what side you're taking. So technically, his hands should have been outside his body together. I'm getting fired up. Ooh, the calendar markers, yes.
We're getting close. Still working on it.
Ooh, that wrist away.
It's
a little
coming.
bit out, but he's finding it. Okay, getting blown up in it a little less.
Good touches. Oh, that's the worst. Once it happens, it never gets better.
I love these sequences with like the music and stuff.
It's gonna float.
The blue, their hair was moving so fast. Oh, I have goosebumps. Oh, wow.
Getting the stats in.
That percentage of success is high. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, baby.
Noah's gonna be so excited for him.
Yeah.
Writ.
He's excited about that.
Uh-huh.
東京でも夜は寒いな。
汗冷える前に上着ないから。
試合待ち遠しいな。
そうだね。最近思うよ。
何を？
翔陽は面白いから翔陽と練習じゃない試合やってみたいかもって。
え？
負けたら即ゲームオーバーの試合。
やろう。もう一回がない試合。
ゴミ捨て場の決
Oh,
戦。俺たちのラストチャンスだ。東京体育館で会うぞ。お。
Oh my gosh, I have full body chills. This is so great.
I love that from Kenma.
It's about as much of a like I'm gonna get you as you're gonna get from him.
100%, and that's why, like, just to see him come out of his shell a little bit, and it's just so within his own character, but he's like, I want to play you with the game over. Like,
there is no rematch.
Yeah, that I love that. I love that, and it just shows that like he's really coming to like him. And the other thing too is like I think he's figured one or two things out, and he wants to see if it translates in the game.
Kenma?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Daって俺は今ツッキーに圧勝中だからツッキーが牛若に圧勝したら俺は牛若に圧勝じゃん
Ah, yes.
I love how that works.
したら俺最強ヘイヘイヘイ簡単に言うレフト赤井戸さん
Get in the block.
見られて攻撃はレフト一択トスはネットから離れ気味赤井沢さんが得意なコースを圧倒的にクロス相手が打ち下ろしてくる瞬間にブロックに歓声を持ってくる
There it is, baby. The smirk says it all. And I'm telling you, there's no better feeling.
もうそろそろ終わる明日に響くぞ
あ、もうですかちょっとまだ打ち足りなくて
まったく
打ち足りない分はさ明日まで取っておけば
なるほどよし影山
Yachi!
望むところだ
やちさんナイス
よしネットも
Oh,
外すぞ
she's the greatest.
And she's gotten to know them. Like, that's perfect. Oh, so good. 2 months in 1 episode, baby. Here we go.
Qualifier matches!
おー来た仙台市体育館再び
I like the black gear.
絶対リベンジ
Is Noya the only one who never wears his jacket? He's always in just a white t-shirt.
フライングするんじゃねえボケ日向と影山は脊髄反射で生きてる感じだね
Do you recognize him?
No.
It's the guy that asked for Kyoko's number.
Oh, got it.
Oh my gosh, the number of
Yeah, baby.
goosebumps I've got.
This is the best feeling. all the anticipation. Everybody can still win. Like, this is what you live for. 100%.
テンション高いな。おかげで冷静になるわ。
All the different track suits.
It's like the calm before the storm when everything happens.
危険人物と遭遇する場所であること。
He has not had a good experience with the bathroom.
何してんの？
太陽様と正常のエースの人。
I hope he didn't say that out
2メートル
loud.
倒してきたんだってね。さすがだ。
はい、いえ。
どっちだよ。
試合になるとこのチビちゃん、ほんと厄介だから今のうちにどっか埋めちゃう。
Basically being like, you're not going to advance. So.
And Hinata in the middle.
Who's the guy in the middle? No, he just got stuck.
We just couldn't enter the bathroom. Oh.
誰だろうと受けて立つ。
おお、どうもさ。
Hey.
Oh. With intense force, I like that. That's still my favorite.
第一試合は B コート正常 A コート白鳥沢か次は俺たちの番だ。行くぞ。さあここにいる誰よりも遊ぶべ。あ、出たお祭りチーム超禅寺。
I mean, it just brings you back. Like,
My
for
cheeks.
me, I know. For me, it just brings me back to playing like club nationals. Like, the travel is there. You're with your team. You see everybody. Everybody's kind of puffing their chest up. You're like eyeing people up. It's just, it's incredible how many feelings the show just. And what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, nostalgia. But it's just like you're back there. Based off how they act.
I love that interaction happened outside the bathroom. He has had a really tough time with bathrooms at every tournament, and then this one was like the biggest just disaster of all, where he's in between the superstars of the event.
And it just like highlights how little he is, because he's just looming above him. He's running into one star and then the other, and he's hitting them in the chest, and they're all just kind of looking at him.
Yeah, meanwhile, he's losing his mind, and he's like, wants to get out of there, but everybody on the outside is like, oh man, is he picking a fight with those guys? And meanwhile, it's literally pinball. And then, of course, Aoni and him like, oh, hi.
Aoni seems like a sweetheart. Just like...
Yeah. I think he has a soft spot for Hinata.
Yeah, fair enough.
But everybody seems to know that Ushijima really, he's just blunt and matter of fact, because like even some of the things he was saying is like, yeah, whatever, whoever it is will just beat you, and like on the surface it's like, wow, it's kind of douchey, but even Oikawa was like, the fact that he actually is just being sincere makes it even more frustrating.
Yeah, there's no like
pretense,
emotion or malice behind it. he's just there and he expects to win. And I mean, you can't fault him for it. It's kind of, it's that fine line between that false sense of how good you are and then that matter of fact of like, if we play well, we will win. Like, you just know that you're better than your opponent if you decide to play well. So he's an interesting character so far.
Mm-hmm. And then Jozenji is apparently the party school, which I think they kind of gave that away with the earrings, the dyed hair, and the tongue ring.
Yeah. And the just like hitting on the manager.
Yes. So they're playing Jozenji.
But we don't really know anything about them as a team. We've just met a couple of characters.
Correct.
But I will tell you, everybody who said that the draft board was about to blow up, I just lost my mind in that.
Adams needed to start doing research yesterday.
Yeah, I am.
Now he's feeling the pressure.
I'm behind, 12 episodes? How many episodes are in the season?
We're a little over halfway through.
I gotta get cracking here. There's lots of players to choose from.
That had so many just amazing tidbits.
Yes.
Okay, Tsukishima going and practicing with the older men. Him asking for help and going and accepting Bokuto and Kuro's offer to train with them. And like absorbing different tidbits, just like soaking things in even when he's not playing. Kenma being like, next time we play, I want it to be a game over situation. And then like Kuro being like, this is our last chance for a battle of the garbage dump, like we need to make it happen. All the teams coming together for nationals. Kageyama making that realization of just how, good Oikawa is, and that it needs to be a full team effort.
I think he's finally bought into that principle.
So many amazing moments in that episode, even though on the surface it kind of was just like a transitional episode.
Yeah, but the Suki, like, that was huge for me. Because now, he's asking for help. You can see him starting to get a little confidence and starting to believe that he can stop top players. It just reinforces that he's over that kind of laissez-faire, it's a club, and he's buying into that, I can do this, that confidence, that inner confidence is coming with him.
Yes.
I think he's going to play a pivotal role in the team's success.
Oh my gosh. And Yamaguchi finally got that jump float.
Yeah.
Okay, there was so much packed in that episode.
That was a low-key banger.
I think could go on underappreciated.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah.
But excellent. And the title was so perfect, still growing.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts. We clearly loved this episode. Hopefully you did too, but please comment below. And as always, I would be so excited if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned because we have got Karasuno versus Jozenji next match. Bye!